to do that. They want you to stay with them in the same line. They don't want you to move forward at all.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and you have to let go of that kind of friendships because it won't lead anywhere, and you can't change people. You can't change people's mindset. And I had that period of time when I was completely alone because I've made some decisions. I was like, it's difficult, but I will get through it. It's gonna lead me somewhere that I've never been before. And honestly, like once you open another door of your life, you start another chapter of your life, people find you. It's weird because there was so many people that like randomly messaged me on social media. We're like, oh hi, and now we are friends. I'm like, wow, it's you start attracting those people because they are
Absolutely.
they are on the same frequency as you are. They vibe in the same way. And like when I look at myself like 2 years ago and today and what I am doing today, 2 years ago I would never do that. I would never do what I'm doing today because I wouldn't have courage. I would be so afraid of others people's opinions. And I wouldn't like to be seen as someone who's, you know, doing something out of my comfort zone. Like it's so comfortable to be in your comfort zone. It's so
Yeah.
comfortable there, but you
Well,
don't grow. You don't grow there.
especially as women, we're taught
Mhm.
that if you believe in yourself, it's arrogance. It's not.
Oh, yeah, if you're a confident woman in power, you're a bitch. That's,
Yes, yeah, you
yeah.
are. Yeah, definitely. Bitch is
Hmm.
thrown around so much. You arrogant. You think that everyone else is below you. It's like, no, I'm literally just believing in myself. And I think
That's it. That's all.
it's not what I'm doing. It's the difference. Arrogance is when you think that other people can't achieve stuff. Whereas,
Hmm.
like in this online community, we all know that there's room for us all.
Hmm.
We all know, we all believe that we can do it. And I was having this struggle with what to do next in my job
Hmm.
versus business. And I realized there were a lot of people who in my real life were like, oh, it's a bit of a risk. And then people in the online world were like, go with your heart.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can do. And I was like,
Hmm.
thank you.
Hmm.
And you're right. Sometimes it's better to be alone. If you're by yourself, but you're the only person that believes in yourself, that's better than being around people who don't.
But we are with ourselves most of our lives for real. Like you always have yourself
All the time.
all the
Yeah.
time. You're always with yourself.
The least you can do is believe in yourself.
People come and go, but you're always with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
that's important to not abandon your needs and your feelings for other people because they really come and go. I think I've read it in Live Like Monk, like
I just got that book.
Jay Shetty, and he says in that book that some people are in your life for a season, some people are in your life for a reason, and some of them are in your life for a lifetime.
I love that.
And that is so true. Like some people come to your life to teach you something. Some people come for a season, and some people are here for a lifetime. And it's once you understand that, it's just easier to let go and go with the flow because
Yeah.
there's so many people out there. There's so many people out there that can literally change your life, can value your life. So
Yeah.
what we really like to hold on to people that we know
We
in our.
do. We almost
Mhm.
see it as a failure if you let go of a friendship, or, I used to compare how many friends I had on social media or something. Like, honestly, the truth is, there aren't that many of my physical friends that are around the clock. I couldn't text someone and they'd be free tomorrow
Mhm.
because my friends are the type of people who want to go for it and they want to like achieve it in their lives
Mhm.
and go for what they want to do. And so they have. That
Mhm.
doesn't mean they live down the road from me, but it
Mhm.
doesn't mean their friendship isn't any less valuable. And the
Yeah.
fact that they do that and go for their goals inspires me.
Mhm.
And I think that's the kind of people we should be around.
Yeah, you should always celebrate yourself and others people's success because it doesn't take anything away from you.
No, why are we so afraid to clap for everyone else? We shouldn't
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Shouldn't. I
Because
love it.
the good things are always coming to you. If you see them coming, they are coming to you. And having that circle of people that go after it, it just makes you more creative and inspired.
Yeah, definitely. Inspiration is just the most magical thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That
You
with a
met,
bit of courage.
yeah,
So,
you mentioned like when people say, "Oh, you've changed," when they say you've
yeah.
changed. But I was thinking about it a lot recently, and I was like, if I hadn't changed, right? Like, if I was the same as when I was 17, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that?
I
Or when I
can't.
was or when I was 10.
but
Like,
that's it, you know, when I was
you grow, you always change. It's natural
I don't
to
want to be that
change.
person. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
who I was 10 years ago because I was 18. Like I had different priorities than I have right now.
absolutely. But that's it. And if we didn't change, then what's the point? What is the point?
What is the point of life?
People meet us at the start of something, and then it's like if you meet someone at the start of a university or something like that, you grow throughout those few years. And
Hmm.
if by the end you're the same person, hopefully your friends grow with you. But if people don't grow and then you've grown, that's when they get jealous and say you've changed.
Yeah, but we go through so many experiences in lives and so many different situations that they are meant to change you.
I mean, the pandemic, I think, has changed us all. The amount of people that, yeah, like we said, was such an opportunity for
Hmm.
growth.
Hmm.
And although I've not achieved lots of materialistic things or whatever, the amount of people that got engaged or got dogs, I'm like,
Hmm.
but I know myself better than probably than I ever have before, which I think is an amazing thing.
Yeah, yeah. It was a ride. It was a ride. It was difficult,
It was a
but
hard time.
the beginning was the worst, literally the worst. Like I think I've cried every single day.
Oh
But I
no.
am so grateful because it really changed me. Like, because I think that a lot of people had no choice and they had to sit down with themselves and
Mhm.
rethink about their life, their choices, their partners, their
When they've been
relationships.
avoiding it.
Yeah, that was like literally there was no other way you could run away from it. You had to stay at home and just do
Yeah.
something about it.
And it's kind of like, okay, well, I've watched everything on Netflix now.
What now?
I should probably like see what I'm like as a human. But yeah, totally. And I think as well, I found it really interesting to see how the weather impacted my mood. I was
Hmm.
probably much better at the start than at the end. Like, but at the end, I was like, I'm losing my tether with this. Can't deal with it being dark. I live in the north of England. It's horrible.
I live on my own, and I was like,
Oh
oh,
God,
3 months with myself.
that's if you hadn't have changed, I'd be shocked.
Honestly, like for a first 2 weeks, I was like a holiday. It's like a holiday, you know. It's a time of for you. And I was like cleaning everything,
Yeah,
organizing, decluttering. I was like, it's
that would be
fun.
great.
And then another month, another 2 weeks, and another 2 weeks. I was like, whoa, it gets heavier. It gets
Yeah,
heavier.
absolutely. As the
That's
darker days set in, you kind of go, this isn't fun anymore. But then looking back, the lessons that you've learned, although it's difficult in the time, looking back, you go, oh my gosh, like that's amazing. That opened my eyes.
yeah. I think that although the difficult moments are very uncomfortable, they are the moments that really change us. Because if you're happy and fulfilled, you don't really change because you need that, you need something, you need that, yeah, that thing to change you. And I think that it might sound stupid, but when I go through difficult moments, I'm like, I'm so grateful. It's
Yeah,
I'm not happy that they are happening. It's uncomfortable, but I'm like, I'm happy that they are that this is happening because it's going to
it's
change
something
me.
pushing you
And
forward.
I
It's
am
the
I am
universe.
open. I'm open to understand. I'm open
Yeah,
to learn a new lesson, and
oh, that's so good.
and again, I change, guys. I do change a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that's the
don't
point.
don't mind
Well,
me.
that's it. I think as well. I always used to say, like to one of my closest friends, I say whenever something went wrong, I'd be like, "This is my TED talk. This is content for my
Hmm.
future TED
Hmm.
talk." And that was before I even found coaching. And I was like, maybe it is content for my TED talk.
Maybe.
Is this the thing? I'm manifesting it. It's happening. I've been
It-
manifesting it TED talk before it's even crossed my mind.
Exactly. Like you never know. You never know what's around the corner, what's coming. And I think that if you're aligned with your purpose right now, there will be so many things coming your way because you found your purpose. And
Value.
that's it's so hard to find your purpose in your 20s because there is so much pressure to know what you want to do, to have successful business, to be a successful woman, to have a good relationships, to have everything in your 20s, but life does not stop there. Like life.
I've realized more that your 20s are for making mistakes. They're for
Hmm.
figuring out who you are. Whereas you're right, there's so much pressure to be like, you have to have this, and
Hmm.
this. And I go, that sounds exhausting. I
It's
can't.
exhausting.
Yeah, it's a hard time, isn't it? But I think it's more about the self-discovery and the journey rather
Mhm.
than about having everything. Like people who might own their house. I don't have a house. I live in a flat. I rent, and I have no shame about that.
And
Whereas,
it doesn't make you a worse person. Like it's your choice. Maybe you don't want to buy a house.
no, it doesn't.
Maybe you don't need it. You don't have to take another thing on your list to be like, oh, now I'm good. Like I ticked all of the boxes and
Are you going to be happy once you tick every box? Like, not necessarily, but if you look at yourself first and figure out who you are, and then you start ticking, you create your own checklist instead
Mhm.
of society's, then you're going to feel so much more fulfilled.
There's
So,
nothing wrong with buying a house if it's really what you want to do.
oh,
Go for it, but
I
don't.
might eventually. I just,
Yeah, you might change your mind and you'll be like, okay, I feel like I want to buy a house now, and
absolutely.
that's absolutely fine. Like we don't have to live up to expectations of society, and it comes back again to social media. It's like
And to pressures from family. If,
family. Oh my God,
house
families, the
crisis,
worst
where
enemy sometimes. Literally.
honestly,
Like,
like, oh, when I was your age, I was married and I had a house, and I'm like, cool,
well done to you. Cool,
that's lovely.
cool, cool. Especially to the older members of family, like when I travel back home, they're like, why you don't have a boyfriend, why you're not married, why you don't have kids, why you don't have that. I'm like, it's good to see you too. It's
Yeah,
really good to see you too.
I'm actually really well, thank you for asking. Like, all of that sounds far too stressful for me.
It's not enjoyable to spend time with them when they put everything on you, like, and especially if you don't want it, like it's not what aligns with you at the moment. And
I
not,
like to think that our generation will perhaps be more open-minded
I
because we,
think so. I think that there is more self-awareness in this world. I think
yeah,
that people are more open-minded than they were before. I think that the generation of our parents, you know, they had different focus. They had to focus on their kids, on having food on the table, not necessarily on their
oh,
inside world. Like they focus on everything what's outside. When now we have choice
yeah, we're
and the
allowed.
yeah, the world is open. We have access to any educational stuff as well. We can choose our own path and way, and we won't be ashamed of doing it. When back in the days you had to do it, you had no choice. So that's it. That's a really good change. That's a really good change for society.
Thank God.
Yeah. Woo! We can live our own
Hello.
life. How you started the happiness firm? What was the most difficult part at the beginning?
Um, Not knowing what I was doing. I have
Mm-hmm.
never, I think a lot of it was the overwhelm of it all and
Mm-hmm.
knowing that I had to do this, but I didn't know where to start. And like I remember, I didn't have a website. I didn't know what type of coach I was, and someone reached out and they saw what I was doing. I just started it with the Instagram. I thought I'll just go with what I know. I'm going to start with Instagram because I know that's where my ideal client is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I didn't have a website. And then someone reached out and asked me to write an article for an online magazine. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And she said, link all your social media handles and your website. And I was like, I don't have anything. I was like, I do
Oh
not
my
have
God.
anything. So I enlisted a friend to help me quickly take some, professional pictures for my
Uh-huh.
website. While I was at my main job, I was just like trying to create this website, and it was just like just getting it done. And like that article just forced me to create something.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was kind of just the hardest thing was battling through the overwhelm and the what I should be doing. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I started listening to what I actually wanted to do and I started to get myself focused, that's when I started to actually see progress and see
Mm-hmm.
results and stuff. Because, it is scary. It's
Mm-hmm.
terrifying doing something new, but there's nothing like that feeling. I think there's two types of people, isn't there? There's
Yeah.
people that
Yeah.
will want to take that risk and people that don't. And
And
it's
that's
okay.
fine. That's absolutely fine. Yeah.
You're no less of a person for not
Mm-hmm.
wanting to
Mm-hmm.
do that. It was quite scary.
I can only imagine. Yeah. But well done. Yeah, I'm really impressed by what you're doing. That's beautiful. We need more people like you in this world.
Oh, Mona.
Really, we